Well, we're now being joined by Uday Kotak, whom I'm going to ask the big question about the mood around India. What has changed in 1 year? Last year, everyone was gloomy, pessimistic, what you guys doing? Now everyone's coming after you to say, tell us more about India.
I think India's story has got positive, and it's the macroeconomic story, helped by commodity cycle, a new government, a mood.
Lots of factors actually suddenly coincide.
Absolutely. So stars seem to be aligned. And the most interesting aspect, I've been watching India at Davos for many years. In the past, I have found India and Indians making a push. This time around, India has more of a pull.
That's actually a major factor and a major change, because you're saying that to some extent we were also trying to sell the India story that, yes, look, this is what
incredible India, this, that. We had so many such things going earlier, which was more a push story.
Yeah, which people were listening to,
yes,
with varying degrees of skepticism. But now a lot of more people are wanting to know about the story.
And it's the macro, top-down, which is looking better.
But what are they waiting for? It's not that anyone is necessarily taking the decision to go in there and invest hundreds of billions of dollars.
I think obviously sustainability of what we are building. My sense is if you look at it from a perspective of India, we've got a Prime Minister with a vision. We've got a strong team of project management. The strategic architecture is what people want to see now. Therefore, the next 90 days on policy, including the budget, are crucial for building that strategic architectural piece.
So when it comes to your own assessment of it, if you look at how far this, obviously very high expectations from this government, and you're hearing it here as well. A lot of people talking about Narendra Modi, what the government should and can do. I'm not just talking about the Indians, I'm talking about the global CEOs. What is your own assessment of the amount of work that has already been done and the big things that still need to be done?
See, keep in mind, we are also in the backdrop of a world which is deflationary. Europe is slow, Japan is slow, China is slowing down. US seems to be the only engine which is driving ahead, but US is only 22% of global GDP. It used to be 35%. So you have the backdrop of a very slow growing world. So that is going to import some deflationary pressures onto India. At a time like that, India's got to do its macro policy stuff right, but not try and push growth on steroids. I put it simply, we need roads before we need cars.
So what specifically do you think needs to be done? We've started to see, for example, interest rates starting to go down. Do you think that's going to continue? Are you expecting a lot from the budget?
I think we need to this time get the structural policy aspects through the budget in good shape. Take the tough decisions structurally.
Such as, specifically?
Control once and for all the fiscal deficit from a qualitative point of view. Review all the subsidies which are wasted, correct them. The mechanism of how subsidies are delivered, the whole taxation structure, the whole GST, get our fundamental architecture in place, the whole policy around infrastructure. What should be the power policy? Where should subsidies be given? Should they be given across the different aspects within the whole sequence or at the end? So get all those structural issues fixed when the winds are in our favor.
But many of those ministers are here. So would you like them to? What is the message you'd like to hear from Arun Jaitley or Piyush Goyal here?
I'm sure. They would be giving messages about what all they're thinking on the policy front. Obviously, Mr. Jaitley can't talk about the budget, but at the same time saying India is open. So give a welcoming sign. Also try and avoid, which I'm sure he's going to communicate about, retrospective taxes and all the stuff which
that was a real
happened.
Major downer here.
So build the trust and the structural India story forward. And even if it means growth pickup is gradual but sustainable, that's what we need.
You must have heard a lot of people also telling you that they wish Narendra Modi had come himself. It would have been great to hear him here at Davos. Maybe next year.
I think you got to go and convince him.
Well, I'm not sure that he's going to be necessarily listening to me. You should try and...
I think it's really the organizers' call. They've got to...
They should try and persuade him to come. But what else is it that you're hearing from people? You must be meeting a lot of foreign investors.
Yeah, I think
Still wait and watch, or are they saying, no,
I think the people are also pretty preoccupied with Europe. Yeah. And this whole Mario Draghi and the European QE, which is expected over the next few days. What happens to Russia? Chinese are better represented this time. And I'm hearing a structurally slower Chinese growth story. So China is correcting itself, hoping for or working towards a soft landing.
Yeah.
Therefore, India has the macroeconomic structure right, but we have to be careful. Let's not use steroids this time.
Right. Any expectations from the Obama-Modi visit? Because at the end of the day, if you're talking to people around here, they're bullish on India and perhaps on the United States. So in a sense, it's
actually it's India and the US. These are the two countries which are right now looking pretty good.
Yeah. So any expectations from that particular visit?
Of course, I think the economics between India and US being strong is wonderful, and I'm sure there will be a lot of business which will happen between India and US, including on defense.
Right, let's wait for that. And Mr. Kotak,
thank you very much. Thank you, Vikram. Great to be here.